Today's Sunday service at the Potter's house was anything but ordinary. As worshippers filled the grand auditorium, the anticipation was palpable. After all, a typical Sunday at the Potter's house is no small affair, filled with powerful music, inspiring messages, and the electrifying presence of Bishop T.D. Jakes. But what unfolded today left many speechless, and some are still trying to piece together what really happened. So, what went down during today's service? Why did things take such an unexpected turn? And what's the real story behind the tension that swept through the congregation? Stay with us as we unravel the events that took place this morning. The service began as it always does. The worship team set the atmosphere with heartfelt songs of praise, and the congregation was fully engaged. The Potter's house is known for its lively and uplifting services, and today was no exception. The energy was high, and spirits were soaring. T.D. Jakes took the stage, as usual, with his commanding presence, delivering the opening words of his sermon. But just a few minutes into the message, something changed. A sudden shift in the atmosphere. As Bishop Jakes was delivering his sermon, a noticeable shift occurred in the auditorium. People began glancing around, as if something was off. The usually focused crowd became restless, and though the sermon continued, it was clear that something was brewing in the background. Whispers started to spread from the back of the room to the front. What was happening? A few individuals tried to leave their seats, only to be gently ushered back by staff members. The exits appeared to be monitored more closely than usual, and a quiet sense of unease settled over the congregation. The unexpected announcement. Then, an announcement was made that no one saw coming. Over the church's sound system, a voice interrupted the sermon. "We ask everyone to remain seated and calm. Please do not attempt to exit at this time." The congregation froze. What could this mean? Why were they being asked to stay in their seats? The sudden announcement sent ripples of confusion through the room. T.D. Jakes paused, visibly disturbed by the interruption, but after a brief moment, he attempted to reassure the audience. "It's okay," he said, "let's stay focused on the word." But the murmurs continued, and the tension only grew. Panic behind the scenes. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, there were reports that something serious was unfolding. Some church staff members were seen moving quickly, communicating urgently with one another, while others tried to keep a lid on what appeared to be a growing issue. People were starting to wonder, was there a security threat? Had something gone wrong outside the building? Sources close to the church revealed that several key leaders were alerted to a situation happening outside the church, and precautions were being taken. The staff worked to ensure everyone inside the building remained safe, but the lack of communication left attendees on edge. The doors are locked. As more people began to grow concerned, a group of congregants attempted to quietly leave the auditorium, only to discover something chilling: the doors were locked. That's when panic truly set in. Some tried to stay calm, but others began to visibly panic, unsure of why they were being kept inside. The locked doors added fuel to the speculation. Was there a threat outside? Were they in danger inside the church? With no clear answers, the situation began to spiral. T.D. Jakes tries to regain control. Sensing the growing unrest, Bishop T.D. Jakes addressed the congregation once again, this time with more urgency. He reassured them that everything was under control, and there was no need for alarm. "We are taking precautionary measures," he explained, his voice steady but firm. "I promise, we are in God's hands." But despite his efforts, the anxiety in the room was palpable. Some worshippers began to pray quietly, while others looked around anxiously, trying to figure out what was happening. The situation unfolds. It wasn't until nearly an hour later that the situation began to clarify. Security personnel moved through the aisles, reassuring people that there had been a precautionary lockdown due to an external issue, but that the danger had passed. Slowly, the doors were unlocked, and people were allowed to leave in an orderly fashion. As worshippers filed out of the church, the relief was evident on their faces, but so was the confusion. What exactly had caused the lockdown? Why were they not informed sooner? Many questions remained unanswered, and social media quickly lit up with speculation about what had really transpired during the service. What we know so far. As of now, official statements from the Potter's house remain vague. Sources close to the church have confirmed that there was no direct threat inside the building, but precautions were taken to ensure the safety of everyone present. While rumors swirl about what caused the lockdown, the church leadership has emphasized that the situation was handled with care and diligence, and that the safety of their congregation is always their top priority. The aftermath. Today's service will undoubtedly be remembered as one of the most unusual in the Potter's House's history. What began as a typical Sunday worship experience quickly turned into a day of confusion, fear, and unanswered questions. Many are still processing the events and wondering what changes, if any, will come in response to today's incident. For now, the only thing certain is that this Sunday service left a lasting impression on everyone in attendance. Whether or not the full story will come to light remains to be seen, but one thing is for sure, people will be talking about this for weeks to come. What do you think really happened at the Potter's house today? Was this a routine precaution, or is there more to the story than we're being told? Stay tuned as we continue to uncover the truth behind the mysterious events of this unforgettable Sunday.